Welcome to MMA Inside the Cage, bringing the world of mixed martial arts straight to you. I'm your host, Cyrus Fees. Next to me, the dark horse candidate for the 2012 presidential election, Mr. Casey Oxenline.
Well, Cyrus, with the national debt in disarray and MMA still banned in a number of states, including New York,
that's ridiculous.
America is on a search for a fresh new face, just like this one right here, to head up the Oval Office next term.
Just like that one? I'll tell you what, man, if you get into the White House thing, maybe you could pull a few strings, get me on as Speaker of the House or something?
Cyrus Fees on Capitol Hill. You know, there are already a lot of big talkers in Congress, but none with a big mouth like yours. So, partner, it would be a pleasure.
Man, get out of here. This episode is definitely going to be a big one. We're not debuting one new international organization. We're debuting two. Of course, last week we had to talk about Rising Fight League's big event that went down in Morristown, Tennessee. That provided a multitude of vicious knockouts. We're going to show them all to you. But before we get to our first fight of the night, there was this thing that happened last week. Apparently it's a big deal. Some say it rocked the MMA world. The UFC has signed a long-term deal with the Fox Network. True story. Of course, we all knew that they were on their outs with Spike, Casey, but nobody knew they were going to do something big like this. They're talking about putting 4 UFC events a year on Fox Network, Network TV in 2012. Not to mention the Ultimate Fighter's going to the FX Network. This is huge, man.
Well, it's a big deal anytime you start talking network TV.
That's true.
You know, we all remember the waves that Strikeforce made with their CBS deal, which of course culminated with the Mayhem Miller Diaz brawl in the center of the cage, you know, which didn't turn out so well for them. You know, but the UFC is stepping things up, making themselves much more visible. They're on Fox as well as FX, and that's a good thing.
It's a good thing, and you know, there's all kinds of rumblings about Spike taking Bellator from MTV2. They're all within the same company, so that could happen. But what's this really do for the rest of the MMA world?
Well, Zuffa is without a doubt the King Kong of MMA media. We all know this. You know, so everyone else is watching to see where they're going to be taking things in coming months and how they're going to do it. Provided the UFC draws good numbers, which I definitely think that they will.
Know they will.
I expect the other networks to jump into the mixed martial arts market as well, which opens a lot of door for the smaller, striving promotions looking to take that step up.
True story. Well, it's time to announce the first of the 2 companies to join up with MMA Inside the Cage. We go all the way to the island of Guam, and we're talking about the biggest organization in the Pacific Islands, Pacific Extreme Combat, or the PXC. Very excited to get hooked up with Joey Calvo and the whole PXC group. Man, these guys throw some serious leather, man. They let it all go in the cage.
Man, you know, as a kid, I remember my dad telling me the stories, you know, about his army buddies from Guam who used to run around on their knuckles, you know, to toughen their fists. You know, these guys have fighting in their blood, and the PXC guys, they come to bang.
It's a very true story. My dad was actually in Guam, too. I think he was fighting off in the bars, though. I'm not sure. Make sure to check out PacificExtremeCombat.com, and without further ado, it's our first fight of the night from the PXC, featuring your MMA Inside the Cage Punch of the Week.
Look at the contention we got in the ring, Brent. Oh,
and here we go.
Don't blink. This one could end pretty quick. Don't blink.
Here we go. Castro from Agate and Dave Pangilinan from Nimitz Hill.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Pacific Extreme Combat 3, Bobby Duggan!
Alex, first fight. Dave 0-1. He fought 1 fight in Tinian, but not because he wasn't fundamentally sound. It's because he wasn't in shape.
Here we go. Little stand-up game going on. Alex coming heavy on the punches.
Alex with the right hand. And Alex and Dave mixing it up, and they're going toe-to-toe. Right hand by Alex, and Dave knocks him down again. And this is an all-out fight for the finish. Alex with the right hand. And a left hook behind it. Alex a right and a left and a right. And there goes Castro. And a right hand.
They're trading. Dave's got the knees.
And Dave
with a takedown.
Dave with a double leg takedown.
With a takedown, working for position. It's going to slow down a real dynamic fight. They must be spent, Brent. These guys got to be blowing a lot of energy.
Knees by Alex and a nice double leg by Dave Pangilinan.
And the half guard.
Here we go. Look at the screen.
Alex on the ground. Alex in the closed guard, right? Dave Pangilinan and Alex's closed guard right now.
Dave doing the smart thing, taking him to his corner.
Good call by Dave, taking him to his guy's corner. Alex
and a left hand.
These guys are kind of tired after that initial flurry.
And what a way to start a fight. They just went at it. Dave throwing punches. And Alex trying to stand up.
Castro trying to stand up.
Alex stands up. And a right hand by Pangilinan misses.
Back on their feet.
Back exchange. These guys are a little spent. They're taking their time a little bit. Nice.
Right hand by Castro, followed by a left, and another left behind it. And Castro comes out the middle, and he drops Dave, and Castro wins the fight. Alex Castro wins by knockout. Alex Castro knocked out Dave Pangilinan. And Dave is down, and Alex Castro, wow.
Welcome
He
to
finished
the
that
PXC,
fight.
Welcome to the PXC, gentlemen. That is it.
Welcome to PXC, and what a way to start the fight, John. Oh my God, what do you think about that one?
Awesome fight, Brent. Awesome fight. This is the kind of things we should expect to see here on Guam. Winner by KO.
Oh my God, what a fight to start. Dave Pangilinan came out, dropped Alex twice, but Castro showed a lot of heart in that fight, and he came back and he threw his own punches, went to the ground, got back up, and then he took Pangilinan out. But good fight by both fighters.
Awesome fight. Awesome, exciting fight. These are the kind of things we should expect to see here at the PXC. Good showmanship by both of these fighters. A lot of tension here, Brant. A lot of tension here, Rich. What do you think we should expect to see in the next few PXCs?
And our winner, by way of
Great way to start the fights.
What a fight by Alex Castro and Dave Pangilinan. You know, I watched Alex train for about a month before the fight, and Alex Castro was running hills for like maybe an hour at a time. So he was in shape to fight, and you saw it right there. The exchange of blows that they threw, most average guys would be done. That tired you out.
So these guys most of them look prepared. MMA on Guam's come a long way. Guys are prepared.
We're gonna go up to Chris Barnett with Alex Castro.
Welcome back to MMA Inside the Cage. Cyrus Fees alongside Casey Oxenine. Now, although we go to all corners of the world to find our fights, sometimes you can find the best stuff in your backyard. Now, the Rising Fight League, based out of the Knoxville area here in Tennessee, just had their second ever event in Morristown. I announced on that card. You had some guys on that card, Casey, but we had no idea we were going to get so many good highlights. It was awesome.
Well, it was certainly a special night for me as a coach. I, for one, saw my own Mark Lloyd take home submission of the night honors following the loss of his mother only 4 days earlier. Locked up a really nice triangle over Tusapon Choli, who was a very, very game opponent.
No doubt.
And, you know, it was very gripping for me.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. What a great one. You know, take a look at the results right here. 3 titles were decided as Gib Fry, Craig Johnson, and David Miles all got the gold. And the main event was something special as well. You got Absolute Jiu-Jitsu's Len Cook ending his amateur career against tough up-and-comer Chauncey Houston from Wolf Clan Combat Sports. Now, Len was dominant in this one, Casey, and, you know, kind of expanded on that pretty impressive striking that he's getting. You saw some of those kicks he was throwing, man.
Man, Len Cook looking excellent as always, rounding out that amateur career, getting ready in a few months, I'm sure, to make that pro debut.
Yeah.
You know, but the best part about this card is that it provided some killer knockouts.
Nasty, man.
Yeah, and we knew, you know, following the big Jamie Norton KO, that was not going to be easy to follow, but this show certainly delivered.
Oh, it definitely did, man. In fact, we couldn't decide on which one to show, so we're going to give you all the nastiest knockouts of the night right now. Make sure to get online and visit X Series MMA as they're gearing up for a huge X Series event in October. Now here comes the knockouts. You're watching MMA Inside the Cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He fights for Team Kia of Lexington, North Carolina. Coming in with a record of 1 win and 1 loss, Brandon Grimmett. And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner, he fights for D-Evil MMA of Irwin, Tennessee. Looking to stay undefeated at 1 win and 0 losses, Alex Bryant. Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is sponsored by Treat Daddy Inc. That's right, of Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He fights for F5 MMA of Morristown, Tennessee. Making his MMA debut, Steven Ramsdale. And his opponent opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, he fights for Team Truth of Cleveland, Tennessee. Trying to stay undefeated with a record of 1 win and 0 losses, Mark Doherty. Your beautiful cage girl is Melody. 3-minute round. Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is sponsored by Roberts Auto Sales. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He fights for F5 MMA of Morristown, Tennessee. Coming in undefeated with 1 win and 0 losses. I give you James Stevens. And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, he is an independent fighter, fighting out of Boone, North Carolina, coming in with a record of 2 wins and 1 loss, Josh Lyson. Your cage girl is Melody. Your referee is Jeff Lewis. It's 3-minute rounds for the #1 contender for the light heavyweight championship.
No 2 kids. Body head. No, you got this. Combination. Keep your hands up. That's good. Come on, man. Hands down. Too late. Down, Josh.
EFC Africa 10, Speechley versus Jacoby for the EFC Africa welterweight title. 1st September, Carnival City, or watch it live at efcafrica.com.
Welcome back to MMA Inside the Cage, 3rd round action. Cyrus Feast, Casey Oxenine. Now, we said we were going to debut 2 international organizations. We did one, that was PXC. Now we're doing our 2nd one, and we're going across the pond to the UK for this one. Cage Warriors has been an institution of MMA in the UK since 2001, and a who's who has fought for them in the last decade. Guys like Bigfoot Silva, Gegard Mousasi, Dan Hardy, Jeff Munson, and so many more. Now, Casey, being a veteran of the sport, you've liked MMA since its inception. Cage Warriors is pretty awesome.
Well, that's certainly an impressive list. And with 10 years worth of events under their belt, Cage Warriors has definitely proven they have staying power.
No doubt about it. And not only are they putting on shows in the UK, they actually have a show September 8th in Amman, Jordan. Man, and they even signed a good friend of mine, the one and only Joe Martinez, to work that event and their future events. Now, an event in Jordan, Casey, man, that's huge, man. Getting some representation in the Middle East.
Oh, absolutely, man. You know, be sure to check out CageWarriors.com for all the info on that. and more.
Okay, let's check out our main event of the week from Cage Warriors. It's from Cage Warriors 43. It's Ian Entwistle and Brad Wheeler, and it's your MMA Inside the Cage main event of the week.
So, on to our next fight of the evening. This is the match that's had the whole of UK MMA talking. It's a grudge match of epic proportions. Ian Entwistle takes on Brad Wheeler.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is in the Cage Warriors lightweight division, sponsored by Kimura Wear. Introducing your first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist with a record of 4 wins, no losses. He weighed in at 155.6 pounds. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. Fighting out of Lancashire and Apex MMA, Ian the Whirlwind Entwistle. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist with a record of 5 wins, 5 losses. He weighed in at 156 pounds. He stands 6 feet tall. Fighting out of the Romford MMA Clinic, Brad the Crazy Kid Wheeler. And when the action begins, the man in charge is Mark Goddard.
Well, Mark Goddard was our referee the first time round. It seems only fitting he's in the cage to officiate the rematch here. The black tie shorts for Ian Entwistle and the blue MMA board shorts for Brad Wheeler.
Yeah, and this is going to be, like I said, a really intense affair. You can see both guys looking into each other's eyes right now. No love lost, and let's see what happens. And a slow start for Entwistle.
Yeah, comparatively to their first encounter, Entwistle wasted no time throwing 2 kicks. He's done exactly the same here. And Wheeler's caught him on the way in. Let's see what the ground game of Ian Entwistle is like here. He is fairly comfortable off his back. He did a great job of attacking some heel hooks at the last meeting.
Yeah, Entwistle worked his way up through the semi-pro circuit, and he's in the Northwest. You know, he knows the ground game. Whether we can implement it here today against Brad Wheeler, that's another thing.
Yeah, Brad has been training with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt Michael Russell, who is a phenomenal coach and competitor, so that's only going to have helped him in his move to the MMA clinic in Romford.
Yeah, and Wheeler, like a lot of the MMA clinic guys, he's going to want this position as the crowd are really cheering him on, and he's going to want to sit here and try and land strikes from the top.
Entwistle being very offensive, looking to get on his side, use that underhook, get low around one leg and scramble back to his knees.
Yeah, and also, another thing that's been talked about quite a lot is Entwistle's gas tank. How's this going to affect it? A lot of people do say, Josh, that he doesn't really have a big gas tank, and as time's ticking down, and Wheeler's going to be trying to wear him down.
Well, the thing is, Ian, no one really knows, because his fights have never really gone past the halfway mark in the first round. He assures me there's no problem in the conditioning department for him.
Yep, and he pushes him away. Wheeler though catches Entwistle.
Yeah, Entwistle doing some damage with those leg kicks, but paying dearly with some good straight shots to the face from Brad Wheeler.
Yeah, and as in the first fight as well, you can see the size difference maybe coming into play as Wheeler gets the best of that exchange too.
Yeah, but Entwistle immediately back up and hustling in on a single leg. Is he going to look to switch off to a double?
From that position as well.
Oh, and another attempted Haragoshi by Brad Wheeler, but he's got the clinch again, and this is where he managed to put Ian Entwistle away in the first encounter.
Yeah, and but Entwistle looks a little bit more wiser to it this time. He's trying to push away from Wheeler, but Wheeler really at the dominant position right now. Great elbow by Wheeler.
Lovely palming off elbow. I think inside in these clinch exchanges, Brad Wheeler is really getting the best of Ian Entwistle here.
Yeah, he's looking very very composed. And a beautiful left.
Well, Ian Entwistle forced to shoot for the takedown, really in desperation. He was having the pressure put on him by Brad Wheeler. Oh, and he's really hustling for any form of takedown to save himself from the punishment.
Yeah.
We find ourselves in the exact same position we did in the first encounter. Looking for the armbar now is Brad Wheeler. If he can get that leg over the head and really force some posture control.
Yes. Entwistle really in a bad place right now.
Oh, and he moves to the triangle from the back. And he sits up to finish it. And he gets the tap from Ian Entwistle. Lovely jiu-jitsu from Brad Wheeler as we see the Tito Ortiz style grave digger. I think he is rightly incredibly happy with his performance.
Yeah.
And the HMV Forum in London has absolutely erupted here. Really, Brad Wheeler.
Mark Goddard called the stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 22 seconds in the very first round. Declaring your winner by tap out due to triangle choke, Brad the Crazy Kid Wheeler!
Brad Wheeler there getting some redemption after their controversial first contest. Great submission win there by the 20-year-old as he celebrates with his cornermen there.
Well, it's time to close out another episode of MMA Inside the Cage. This one was awesome, man. We debuted 2 organizations. Now, next week, I can't guarantee, and I kind of think that we can debut, forget it. I'm going to guarantee that we're going to debut another international organization next week on MMA Inside the Cage, so stay tuned for that. Now, Casey, how can everybody get a hold of us here at the show?
Well, everybody can get us at Facebook at facebook.com/MMA Inside the Cage. Of course, at Twitter.
Sure.
At twitter.com/MMA ITC. And of course, email us at MMAinsidethecage@gmail.com.
I'm Cyrus Feast.
And I'm Casey Oxen.
And we'll see you next week inside the cage.